Hey everyone, this is Greg Tastic here, and I wanted to do kind of a quick update to the Ryzen video I made the other day. The first thing I wanted to talk about is there's an actual Ryzen price drop that just happened today at Micro Center. And what they did is they dropped the price of the 1700X from $399 to $349. I'm not sure, Micro Center kind of has a reputation for selling processors a little cheaper at times than anywhere else. Like if you wanted to get the 7700K, I think it was like 310 or 320, and when I got my i5 6600K, it was 200, where at a lot of other places it was 220, 240. So, but this is like not even a week into the processor being released, and they already dropped it $50. Now, when I saw this, I have a 1700. When I saw this email, my first reaction was, "Oh my goodness, the next model up is only $20 more expensive." And I was thinking about going over there today already after work to get a better cooler than the stock cooler, which I was gonna do last week, but I kind of had like sticker shock between the motherboard and the processor, and I said, let's just see how the stock cooler goes. But now that everything's settled down, I want to go and get a aftermarket cooler. But then, I thought about it, I calmed myself down, and I said, listen, the 1700 actually overclocks just as well as the 1700X and the 1800X, and it has a lower TDP. I said, let me just stick with that. And besides the fact, why is the 1700X model lowering its price by $50 within a week of being released, less than a week of being released? My guess is that people are thinking like I'm thinking, or some people are thinking like I'm thinking. My guess is the people who said, oh, I want the best thing out, I want the 1800X because it's the best and it's the most expensive and I have the money to do it, I bet they just went and bought the 1800X. But I'm starting to think that people who are like more budget conscious, I'm sure some people already were like, let me just get the cheapest one. But I think once people started to see that the 1700 was performing as well as the other two processors, they said, okay, well, if I'm budget minded, instead of spending $70 more or $90, $100 more, including a cooler, why don't I get the 1700? It already comes with a cooler, it's $70 cheaper, and it's going to perform just as well as the 1700X if I overclock it. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm wrong, but it certainly is interesting that it is dropping in price this soon. I wouldn't say it's a bad sign for Ryzen. I would say it's a bad sign for the 1700X, because I think probably the 1700 and 1800X might be selling a little better, at least at Micro Center. Of course, I'm not like a economist or anything, so maybe I'm wrong. The next thing I wanted to talk about is I'm thinking about returning my motherboard. I have an ASUS X70 Pro, ASUS Prime X70 Pro, I think that's what they call it. And I have EVGA RAM, which is, you could tell I buy a lot of my computer parts at Micro Center because that's a Micro Center exclusive RAM. And I just bought it because DDR4 16 gigabytes is like $110 to like $130 right now. When I went to Micro Center a few months ago, I bought it because it was the cheapest 16 gigabyte kit, and I think it cost me $60. So obviously, good look, I'm buying it for $60 considering the market now. I think they sell the same kit for $199 or $109 or something like that. But anyway, I guess it's not the most supported RAM because it's not on the verified RAM list for ASUS, what I downloaded, which I guess is the RAM that they actually checked and tested to make sure it works on the board. So this kit runs at 2400 megahertz, and I can only get it to work at 1067. And if I try and overclock it to 2400 or set it manually, it crashes the system. So I'm thinking I submitted a ticket to ASUS today, and they say they're going to respond within 48 hours. So if they didn't say that 48 hours, I probably would have just taken it back today and returned it and tried a gigabyte board if I could have, because I had a gigabyte board with my old PC and it recognized the RAM as 2400 plus. It seems like Gigabyte is a step ahead on the AM4 motherboards as far as, stability and working and all that. But since ASUS says they will respond so soon, I'll give them the chance to respond and, not have to tear everything apart and pack it back up and return it. And hopefully they could, add this RAM to the compatible RAM or verify it or whatever they have to do, that I could get the full 2400 out of it, because to have DDR4 RAM and have it run at 1067 is not making me a very happy person. So I just wanted to talk about those two things, the price drop, which I think is pretty interesting to have a $50 price drop on the middle SKU, not even a week after, like half a week after it's released. And also just a word to the wise, as far as the motherboard situation with ASUS. I've been reading that ASUS is not the top choice for AM4 right now, and that's surprising, because when I bought the ASUS, because everybody was saying how they thought ASUS was going to be the best one. But you live and learn, I guess. There's a 15-day return policy even if you open it, and I mean, my motherboard box came opened anyway, so whatever. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope I did a little better job at actually looking at the camera this time, and I'll see you next time.